Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are on the planet. My name is Nicholas Perrin, one of the co-hosts for the Higher Self Expo, where science meets spirituality, scheduled for the 17th to the 18th of July. We are very privileged and excited to be connecting with Roman Light, who is going to be one of the Australian speakers. And this 15-minute segment just gives you, as the audience, an opportunity to meet with Roman, to hear a little bit about Roman, although Roman can speak for hours and hours and hours if he wants to. I've had that beautiful experience of a 10-hour car ride with Roman from a camping trip that we went to in the outback of Australia all the way back to Sydney. So I've had that experience. I've said to Roman today, it's 15 minutes. We've got to keep it concise and to the point. And so we'll see how we go. For those of you that are new to the Higher Self Expo, it's been birthed by Zane Daniels, who felt the inspiration to really share uplifting, inspirational, and conscious expanding materials with speakers from all around the world to assist with the challenges and crises that we are going through at this time with humanity and the planet. So Roman, really lovely to connect with you. I've known Roman for many years, about 9 years in total, and we've been journeying in many different circles over time. It's really an honor to be with you. Roman, would you like to just very briefly introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you for having me, brother. Yes, it was a blessing to know you for so long. How to introduce myself? I guess I'm a true seeker. French, born in France, live in Australia for the last 10 years. I think my field of research is I have no limits. I'm just trying to find truth wherever it is. And my journey brought me to mathematics, which I'm not really trained for, and physics, which I'm not trained for, and music, which I'm not trained for. I'm trained for nothing, but I was looking for truth, and I found that truth everywhere. And I think my mission in this existence is to try to help as many people as I can to realize the nature of truth in a way, and the relationship between the essence of who they are, the true self, and the experience of reality. I did a lot of research in many fields, from quantum physics to vortex mathematics to plasma field, alternative health. I put my fingers in all the pies. I try to find that element of truth in spirituality, in religion, in science, in many ways, in many fields. And I think I came to a pretty good overview of how the whole mechanic of reality and the universe is operating. And I'm trying to share that perspective using different tools, from philosophy to music to mathematics to politics, economy, in many, many ways. I'm a big advocate for sovereignty, individual sovereignty, human sovereignty, consciousness, law. And I guess the journey is still unfolding every day and bringing its level of mystery and beauty in everything that I do. So I don't know if that can summarize me, but
it does. You've done a great job. I'm so impressed, Roman. I do also want to just let the audience know that Roman has also, in his own search, so instead of it being research, which is looking at other people's materials, Roman has actually downloaded, received from, you can call it the void or the quantum space, new bodies of work in the space of sacred arithmetic. And he's very much on the cutting edge of different ways of experiencing and expressing consciousness through science. And so Roman's a perfect fit for this conference. And Roman, would you like to just share with us, what will you be sharing with our audience for 45 minutes on July the 18th? What is it that you've put together? I know that you can speak for hours, but you've been asked to do it for 45 minutes. What will you be sharing, and why is this relevant for our audience at this time?
Well, I think, I spoke to the crowd for many years about the essence of consciousness and the relationship that consciousness can engage with reality. And I think this is more than ever essential now that we're moving to a space where artificial intelligence and augmented reality is happening. It is absolutely essential for people to ask the fundamental question that they always refuse to ask in a way, which is the nature of existence and my relationship as a consciousness with that nature. It is a fundamental question that is absolutely hard to face, because it is the most important and the hardest to answer, because we're talking about conditioning, and we've been conditioned to see reality through specific grids, from materialistic perspective, emotional perspective, spiritual perspective, mental perspective. And the idea is to be able to clear a little bit all this conditioning, to be able to refresh and understand. So we need to neutralize the body, we need to neutralize the mind, we need to neutralize the emotion, we need to neutralize the soul in a way, in order to have the most pure connection and observation with reality. And I guess this is what children do, that's what baby does. They come in reality, they have no judgment, it's just empty. They're just empty, and they just receive. And through that information coming into them, they drive conclusions, and those conclusions become laws and rules. And before they even realize it, they already created the jail in which they're going to spend the rest of their existence trying to escape, not knowing that they created that jail in the first place. And it is important now to have those debates, so we can put the base of what is fundamentally missing in our society, which is ethic and moral. Like, we have lost those two compass, because this can be explained in many, many ways, like how materialism and rationalism has taken over reality, and why it was fundamentally important that it happened back in the day, but why now it is important that rationalism, which is the science of ratio, has to be confronted to reason, which is the science of motion and dynamic and resonance. So if ratio measurement is taking over reason, which is motion, dynamic, time, resonance, then we have a problem. We have a problem because one aspect of existence is more prevalent than the other one. And this is all this movement that started in the 17th century by the scientific belief that reality is dead. And this has brought us to that perspective today, that everything that is dead, so therefore it's not sacred. And because it is not sacred, then it can be just used and abused. And I don't think this is something that is actually really making people happy. So the idea is to actually challenge all those perspectives and go back into the depth of the conditioning to find that peace that everyone is looking for. But that peace will never be reached until we question all our certitude, until we challenge all our belief system. And this is what's happening today. Like, don't get me wrong, this is happening all over the world. Like, everyone will have to face the hard question that they always try to avoid. So, I mean, I'm a kind of accelerator. I don't like the word prophet or whatever. I'm just like an accelerator. I'm just accelerating the process of opening your eyes to what is, so life won't have to force you too hardly. If you don't want to do it willingly, then it's just going to go through the hard way. And we start to see a lot of people going through the hard way. You know that I knew that we all knew that this was about to happen, and so those of us are quite ready and go through the challenge quite easily and peacefully, and some others are in total panic, because this is what reality is all about. And if you haven't been prepared for it, then you're going to have to go through it the hard way. So why people should come and listen to what I have to share, just because I spend countless hours diving and asking those hard questions, and the answers that I discovered, which I can't, they're quite deep and mind-boggling and challenging, and needs to be heard and challenged as well, of course, and need to be integrated to replace the other conditioning Not saying that what I'm saying is the ultimate truth, because there is no ultimate truth, but allowing people to find their own truth is more than ever essential to help people being who they are in that particular moment in time.
Awesome. And really, it's like you're bringing the sacredness back into science, and looking at the sacredness of numbers and the sacredness of geometry, and looking at the wonder and the magic that is hidden in that language, in that way of translating reality. And you've done a really amazing job. I've gone to one of Roman's workshops in the past and participated. So yes.
Well, first, like just on that point of sacredness, in French, the word sacred, sacré, can be heard as it creates. So the sacredness of things, the fundamental aspect of sacredness is that which creates. And this is one of the biggest mystery in existence. What is creating? What creation is? That's the first question. What is existence? What is creation? What is my relationship? Who I am, like know yourself, who I am, and what is the relationship between who I am and creation? That's the first fundamental question. The second fundamental question is what creates? And that sacredness, the sa create, the sacré, the it that creates, is, according to me, one of the most fundamental questions that everyone should start to ask in order to remember who they are, because we are all creators. We are all God creators, which spend their time willingly ignoring that we are, and wasting a lot of our time and our energy doing things that are not really supporting our own existence. So finding that connection between science, which is the discipline of the observation. Science, normally the real purpose of science was to observe, not to make conclusion. Like you can come with theories, but today the theories became truth. And this is where we have a big problem. Science was there to observe and to use ratio to observe. And the resonance, which is the meaning, used to come from people, but we have lost that. We have lost our sovereign right to trust in ourselves and to find that resonance in us. And so finding that connection between the science, which is the observation, and the reasoning, which is the conclusion, which is coming from the inner self. No one can give you that. It needs to come from yourself. So you have to take responsibility for that, and you have to get out of your limitation, explore your boundaries, break your shell, the shell that you created yourself, in order to become who you are and face the world.
Awesome. That's really beautiful. And Roman, just before we wrap up, if people wanted to get in contact with you, if you have any offerings or any workshops or anything that goes beyond the Higher Self Expo experience, how can they get in contact with you?
So the easier way to get in touch with me is through my website, sacredarithmetic.com. So sacredarithmetic.com is the easiest way. I'm also very active on Facebook. I'm an activist. I was the representative of the Yellow Vest movement a few years ago, but Facebook has shut me down 7 months over the last 8. So I think my account is going to be closed very soon. The other way is Telegram, Roman Light on Telegram. So I think Roman_Light on Telegram is the easiest way to get in touch with my news feed. Otherwise, I'm offering coach lessons for those who want to have one-on-one session, and I will reopen the Sacred Arithmetic course very soon to allow people to dive into that knowledge that is absolutely fundamental. I spent the last 10 years researching in every field that I could, and this knowledge is verifying itself every single time. So I think this is an absolute essential aspect if you want to, especially if you have a logical mind, if you're coherent, if you love coherence and logic, you will love this perspective that you went through for many hours to look at that perspective and shift it into another way to looking at it, and realizing that just by shifting that perspective, that which you think was true suddenly become infinite. And it's something that I love sharing with people. I love like turning on that spark wow, I thought I was seeing the thing this way, and that's why numbers are so fascinating, because they're such a part of our life, and we're so used to use them that when you shift their perspective on numbers, suddenly it's like, whoa, this is not something that we're used to challenge. We used to challenge concepts and ideas, but we're not used to challenge tools like numbers, which allow us to measure and quantify reality. So that's something that, especially for someone that is very logical and right-minded and coherent, but also for those who always thought that maths was a nightmare and they hated it. Well, when you're going to see that language, which is, it's not math, it's arithmetic. It's the art and rhythm. Arithmetic is art, and arithmetic, which is rhythm. So it's the science of the cycle, how the cycle is ordering reality and creation. And so you embed that in your existence, and your life is completely different after that. You can't go back.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Roman, for introducing yourself. You've done a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us today. We look forward to having Roman at the High Self Expo, 18th of July. And thank you and have an awesome day. Bye for now.
Bye.